From controversy to awareness, celebrity health news always creates a buzz. We're covering it all with the help of our newest segment and contributor. Very excited to welcome Dr. Rupi to our Living 808 Ohana with Your RX for Wellness. So exciting to officially do this. We've been talking about it for a while, so welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to talk about this topic because people love knowing what celebrities are doing, especially when there's health involved. So let's talk about some of the things in the news.
Yeah, so celebrity health news is especially intriguing to us because it's relevant. It's almost as if a friend or a family member has a health issue and we want to learn more. So there's been some interesting stuff in the news lately. One of those topics I'll start with is T.I., the rapper, and what he's been talking about. This is a little bit bizarre, and I want to clear up some misconceptions about virginity testing. Is that something that you've heard about?
I've definitely heard of T.I. There's been a lot of talk about that.
This controversy. He came out and said that he has been virginity testing his daughter, who I believe is 18 years old. And so I wanted to clear up what exactly is virginity testing, what does it mean, what does it entail. So virginity testing is testing for a female's hymen. The hymen is a thin membrane that sits inside of the female's pelvic organ system. Now, this comes in various shapes and sizes, just like all of our body parts.
Right.
It can even be perforated or congenitally absent, meaning somebody is born without it entirely. So it's interesting that folks are still doing this testing because it's not medically valid. It's actually unscientific and not proven whatsoever. Hymen can break at any point in our lives for any variety of reasons, and none of them actually have to do with intercourse. And so oftentimes even pregnant women will sometimes have an intact hymen. So this is a procedure that should not be done. We should be actively discouraging it, and this is surprisingly still being done in over 40 countries.
You're kidding.
No, and the U.S. is somehow one of those countries. And so New York is trying to ban this entirely, which I completely agree with. This is something that should be discouraged. It can be emotionally and traumatic. It can be physically traumatic and even be considered assault. So this is something that should not be done. We don't agree with it in the health system, and it's just shocking that in this day and age, somebody like T.I., who is a rapper,
right,
in today's world is still doing something like this. So not something that's validated, not even possible to check for something like this, so we should not be doing it.
All right, Beyonce's dad in the news for a very different reason.
Yes. So I have so much respect for him creating awareness about male breast cancer. So most of us don't think of men as being able to have breast cancer, right? So we don't think that men even have breast tissue. So I'm just going to clarify that. All people have breast tissue. We're born with tissue, and in women it develops, in men it doesn't. But what can happen is anywhere there's tissue, a cancer can develop. And so for Mr. Knowles, he actually noticed some abnormal symptoms. So some of these symptoms that we like to look out for are similar to what happens in women for breast cancer as well. Painless lumps. It can be any sort of discharge, nipple changes, or for his case, he had some bleeding. He actually noticed blood on his t-shirt.
That would be a red flag right away.
Exactly. And he said, you know, this is unusual. It happened a couple days in a row, and he told his wife, and his wife encouraged him to get it checked out. And so he ended up getting a mammogram, just as a woman would, and was found to have breast cancer. So he ended up being found very early, thankfully, and he was able to undergo a mastectomy and had appropriate treatment. Now, treatment really depends on staging. And so it depends on where and when somebody is diagnosed. And so luckily for him, it was diagnosed early and he wasn't needing chemo or radiation. But if it is found later, because a lot of us tend to ignore our symptoms, men in particular.
Oh, yes, right.
This isn't something
that's a male fact. It's just it's fact, right? Medical fact.
We all know. We all know. And you know what? Some of us, even as women, we ignore our symptoms.
Right.
And so even though this is a fairly rare type of cancer, only about 2,000 to 3,000 men get diagnosed per year with this. That's still a fair number. So something to know about. Prevention can be self-checking, making sure that if you do have some concerning symptoms, seeing your physician and getting evaluated, and then a mammogram if needed.
There you go. And we're always the first to point out that we should say men too.
Absolutely.
And I make a point of adding that when we do that. Those are both on other ends of the spectrum. Our last topic affects just about everyone.
Yes. So the last topic I want to discuss discuss is Ariana Grande. So Ariana Grande had an adult onset allergy to food. She had an allergy to tomatoes, of all things. So unfortunately, her being Italian, that really...
That's a problem. My kids try and say
problem.
they're allergic to except for pizza sauce, but that's okay.
So an adult onset allergy is not that uncommon. A tomato allergy is a little less common. The most common food allergies tend to be nuts, tree nuts, peanuts, dairy, and also shellfish. So these are the most common allergies that people have. The most important thing to do is avoid those allergens if you know about a food allergy. Now, oftentimes during the holiday season, we're eating foods at restaurants, we're out with our friends at holiday parties. It's so much harder to keep track of
It's hard to avoid what's in there. You don't know.
Exactly, the ingredients, we have no idea sometimes. So we're exposed to things without realizing it. So when in doubt, always question, try to find out what exactly is in the foods that you're eating, but also being aware of symptoms. So some of the common symptoms are swelling, itching, or burning around the mouth. And some of the more alarming symptoms these can develop into are difficulty swallowing or difficulty breathing. Now that becomes life-threatening very quickly. So very important to know these symptoms and to seek medical attention immediately if they develop.
And a take-home message to our viewers, Dr. Rupy.
So take-home message is celebrities are just like us. We all suffer from similar health conditions, and it's important to be aware of symptoms, but equally as important to seek attention. Us healthcare professionals, physicians like myself, we're here, we're available. Ask for advice if you have any doubts whatsoever.
All right, thank you so much. And we're
Thank
really
you.
excited about this segment and talking from you and getting
Thank
your
you.
professional expertise on health matters.
I appreciate that so much. Thank
All right,
you.
Dr.
Pleasure to be
Rupy,
here.
part of our Ohana.
Thank you.
Well, Hawaii